Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm very excited. Week 3, we're going to be talking about shopping in the budget. First things first, let me give an introduction. I'm Stephanie Jackson. I go by Stephanie J on social media, but Stephanie Jackson. I'm a nurse practitioner by degree. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm a nurse care manager, and I'm also a certified nutrition and health life coach. And so I'm really excited. Nutrition has been a huge part of my life. I was a bodybuilder, and I learned so much about nutrition through that. And then just having a chronic illness of asthma and how nutrition really helped me heal my body. So I'm excited to share some of the things that I've, as a mom of four, a wife of 34 years, mom of four, some of the tools I use for health and nutrition in my personal life and with my family. And then I want to thank the Health Gap, the Center for Closing the Health Gap, for being able to sponsor this class, along with Cincinnati Links Black Care Initiative, who are providing the resources for this. So they get all the honor. God gets the honor first, and they get the honor. And then you can always, if you want more nutrition, health, lifestyle, I'm on Your Sweetest Life with Stephanie J on Facebook and on Instagram. So you can come follow me there and get lots more of what you're getting here. So last week, we talked about making a plate, and there was a couple of things I wanted to go back over. I wanted to remind you that on week 5, just a reminder that you're going to take a little bit of time to share some of your takeaways. So we're trying to come up with a way to do that, because there's so many people in this class. It's so exciting. There's so many people in this class, but we might not be able to do it live here. So we're coming up with some other ways. The Health Gap's talking about some other ways that we can be able to share your takeaways. So that's part of the closing part of the class, is week 5, sharing your takeaways. And so we're hopefully next week we'll have more information on how you'll be able to complete the class out on week 5. So that'll be week 5 will just be us coming together, sharing our takeaways, and just having like a celebration of you guys for showing up and being here and taking away so much and using it. Like, I'm already seeing people using it. So exciting. So that's the first thing. And then from last week, some of you sent in plates. So before I show some of these wonderful plates, you guys all made me hungry. I'm going to go and make sure we have muted everyone. Got everybody muted, because otherwise I'll start echoing and hear myself. I wanted to share a resource that I didn't get to share last week. So I have a friend, she happens to be a nutrition, she has her master's in nutrition, and she created a company called Templates. And so if you're interested in more other options for a healthy plate, her company does an actual, it's called Templates, TYMPLATES. And what happens is you do a metabolic kind of quiz on there, and then you get a plate specific to your metabolic needs. So this is my metabolic plate, and that's a little different from the My Plate, but it's nice because it has your serving section, same as the My Plate. So up here is the vegetables. So this will be for my metabolic needs. My plate would be these many vegetables. This is my starchy carbs. This is my protein section. And this section over here are my good, healthy fats. So that would be like flaxseed, things like that. So this is just another option I wanted to share with you. If you're really interested in the plate option, My Plate, you can do the My Plate. And you said My Plate is not good today. Girl, we all have those days. Or you can check out Templates. I think it's templates.com. And you can go on there and do the metabolic evaluation, and it'll show you the type of plate. It is a purchase type thing, but she does have a lot of good information. So this was just another option I wanted to share with you, show you this is a type of kind of the structure that I eat in. Like, I eat mostly vegetables, a little bit of starchy carbs, and mostly protein. So that's just another option for you. And Lauren will share this when she sends out the email next week. She can share the link for this. Is this microwavable? It's a good question. No. So you would make, I just saw it on the back. I don't think I've ever microwaved it either. So you would make your food, and then you would just put your servings on here. So you'd have to just microwave everything separately, but you put all your servings on here. And I actually like this idea because it has more vegetables here, and it has a smaller section of your starchy carbs. And then it also has a bigger section for protein. So that'll be about 3-4 ounces of protein in that section. And that's about what I eat. So that's my personal metabolic needs. And I do like her program because it's based on your personal metabolic needs, not just a general kind of idea, which is what the My Plate is. So just another option. Lauren will send that link out to share that. So if you're interested in going over and checking that out. Next I'm going to share some of these plates. So, it's really hard to not get hungry looking at these plates. You guys shared a lot of your plates. Let me get them pulled up here. And let's go back and look at some of these plates. Oh, no, not that. All right, let me go to my files. All right, so here's plate number 1. And I don't have the names of people who sent in because I don't have the email. So this is plate number 1. I love it. The greens are a larger portion than the starchy potatoes. I think those are potatoes. And you have a good serving of protein there. So very nice. And it looks really, really good. Nice balance. Have more greens on your plate than starchy carbs. Wonderful. This is the next plate. Now, this is like a Thanksgiving plate, right? So this is what we would eat at Thanksgiving. And I love that you can tell her plate is small because look at the size of the fork here. So I love that she used a smaller plate. And here's the thing, when we have special holidays, one day a week where we have like our cheat meal, try using a smaller plate because a smaller plate is going to allow you to have those same flavors, have those same foods, but have a little bit less of them. One thing that you can do is add more of the green here and just maybe a little smaller sections of the macaroni and cheese and the dressing. This makes me hungry. And then a little bit more protein because your body needs a lot of that protein. And then you have yams, which sweet potatoes are really good for you. Just when you're eating them with like the extra sugar, this small portion size is great. You're getting a taste of it, but you're not getting too much of it. So yummy plate. That made me want the holidays to come. And right here, this is something we all eat often, right? I mean, many of us eat Alfredo. And when I emailed back to this group member, she told me she did a portion size of the Alfredo. And so that's the most important thing. You can have the Alfredo. You can have the bread. And last week I kind of talked about if you're going to have the Alfredo and if you're going to have a big starchy carb, to just have less of the bread on your side so that you don't have as much on your plate. I love that you have like 2 proteins. Shrimp is an amazing protein. It's low in fat. It has really high protein. You can use it so many ways. Next week when we do our meal planning, I'm going to bring you guys into the kitchen. I'm going to show you some of the ways that I will use shrimp. And then she has a salad, and I love that she made some changes on her plate by using vinaigrette instead of ranch. So that is great when you can make small changes by adding in a vinaigrette instead of a ranch, by using a smaller plate, by checking your portion sizes. You're on the right road. Great job. Keep it up. And then I think our last plate here, once again, yummy. We have some asparagus, looks like it's grilled or sauteed, a pork chop. Look at that, a nice small portion of rice and the beans there. And, you can put those beans on top of that rice. You got beans and rice, but that is a wonderful, healthy, balanced plate. Okay, I think that's that. So those were great. Those were really, really great. I appreciate. Thank you guys, everyone who sent in your plates. And just like as you gone through this week, did you kind of think about some of what you were eating and when you were making your plate? I just want a few people. I know one of our goals from last week was to, I think was it to name one item from each of the 5 groups. Oh, and what goes on a healthy plate. So I'm going to go to I'm going to change the gallery and make sure I have my time. Okay. And just have maybe 2 or 3 people share some of what you might have thought about this week putting on a healthy plate, some changes you might have made. I know Kathy shared some earlier. She shared some really good wisdom on spaghetti. I appreciated that. If you guys were on here to hear, she was telling me that the slotted spoon that like the spoons that are slotted, you can lift spaghetti with, the holes, dry spaghetti, if you put the dry spaghetti, is a serving through that hole. So I never knew that. So that was something really cool. So if you're looking to get a serving, get one of those scooper spaghetti scoopers that have the holes, and you put your dry, fill that hole with the dry spaghetti. That's a serving. Cook that, and you got a serving of spaghetti. So just one or two. You guys can unmute yourselves, and we're gonna take a couple minutes to share something you thought about throughout this week related to when you were making your plate, not including Super Bowl Sunday, because that did not count as. We're gonna leave that off of a healthy plate day. Because I definitely don't want to but anyway, because we did not have too many healthy options. We had a salad, but we had a whole lot of other stuff. So just unmute yourself if you want to share just a takeaway you had about healthy plates from last week. Potatoes get a bad rap. Yes, they do. Potatoes are actually very healthy. It's what we put on the potatoes. I'll share while we're waiting for people to unmute. A great way to do potatoes, if you have an Instant Pot, you can steam 6 or 7 potatoes. And then you can take those potatoes, you can do them and dice them up. You can put a little olive oil, or you don't even have to put olive oil if you don't want to. You can bake them without the olive oil, season them up, bake them. Danita, you unmuted yourself.
I did. I'm driving, so I'm just going to let you know. That's why I'm trying to just manage this whole thing. I ended up in the metro area longer than I thought, but yes. And I am trying to create a curriculum that works with our financial literacy on meal planning. So I'm really excited about this session. So Even though I have to drive and I can't really see, I'm really excited about this because I want to create a component about meal planning because I think it's so important to people who are food. Who have food instability, be able to learn about meal planning. And we talked about the week before that about how there's such a high incidence of diabetes and for Native Americans, and that's the population that I work in, it's just the same. It's so much diabetes, so many kidney issues because of bad nutrition. So I'm really excited to kind of work some meal planning and some nutritional eating into my financial literacy curriculum that I'm
That's
using.
awesome. That's so awesome. Well, I hope this shopping portion helps some. Did some of the healthy plate part help with that for what you're trying to build?
Yes, and I'm excited about this templates. I'm excited to look at that. And also I'm excited because I finally got to eat a potato this week. I let myself eat a potato. It's in workplaces when they have 0 days since you had the last injury. I was up to 365 days since I ate a potato, and now I'm back to 0, but that's okay. I forgive myself.
You know what? And potatoes do get a bad rap. And I will be honest, I actually lost a lot of weight last year, and I was eating potatoes almost every day. So potatoes get a bad rap. It's what we put on potatoes, and you have to know your own body too. So that's the important thing. When you're making your plate, know what affects your body. Everybody's body is affected differently, especially if you're diabetic or if you have health issues that cause you not to be able to eat certain things, to keep that in mind. Thank you, Denise, for sharing that. Please drive carefully. And is there anybody else? I saw Peter had unmuted himself. Peter, did you want to share? I think Peter went back, and I think we lost Peter. So we'll go ahead and move into this week's slides. And if you do think of, you can share it in the chat if you think of ways that you've started to look at your plate differently. I know for me, when I started really thinking about serving sizes, when I was making my plate, I really was consciously thinking about I have more of this, I need to cut this back. So now when I make my plate, I just automatically put my vegetables on half my plate and then add in everything else. So just as you're going through, this week coming up, just start to think about that. This week I'm excited because we are talking about one of my favorite things is shopping. I love to shop, but food shopping is even better. So I'm going to share my screen again. We're going to have some slides. I have a couple of pictures to share, and then we're going to do a little practice work. So even if you don't have this book, if you can grab a notebook or a piece of paper, something to write with, do that. So let me share my screen again. See if I can do this effortlessly. Look at me. Okay. Yay, we're back. All right. So we are at week 3, and we're going to discuss the following: the importance of making a list, utilizing online spelled long grocery shopping. I need to edit that. The advantage of shopping in season and how to compare pricing. So, when you're shopping for 6, I spent a lot of time comparing prices, coupons, all of that. So the importance of making a list. So I wanted to share this first, but I also wanted to, there's a couple of points that I didn't put on here that I wanted to add in. When you're making a list, always start with your meal plan. Know what you're going to cook. So it helps you to organize your plan weekly when you have a list. Keeps you from overspending if you stick to your list, meaning don't go to the grocery store hungry either, because that's going to cause you to get off your list. It takes less time to shop, giving you more time back to your life. So if you have a list, you can spend less money, you can be more organized and have a better plan for your weekly meals, and you can take less time to shop. So you can get in and out of the grocery store quicker, as long as you stick to your list. What can you use to make a list? So I, for years, was a paper girl. I always had to have a notebook for my grocery list. One thing that I always suggest is keep a small notebook in your purse or in your car. So if you think of things you need to get, you can just write them down. And you can always update that list. I'm going to share a resource that I use. So you can use an app like Notes or Reminders. I use the Reminders app, and I love that. And I will share on my phone. I think I have some images to share. I love that because if I think of something I need to add to the list, I can just go on my phone, put it in my phone. I don't have to find a piece of paper, and I can always keep my grocery list updated. And there's also other grocery list apps that can be helpful. Our grocery shopping list is one I've used before, but if you go in your phone app store, there's a ton of them. And a lot of them have free, you try them for free. So try them out. Try out some of the grocery store apps. They are really helpful. Like I used to use paper, and I just started using digital like recently, because my husband kept asking me, why do you keep using paper? Because one time I left my grocery store, my list at home, my kids had to take a picture and send it to me. And I started using my reminders. And I'll tell you what, it's so nice when I'm at work. If I think of something that I need to add to the grocery list, I go on my phone and add it. And it's just a running list. I don't know if anyone's ever done this, utilized an online grocery shopping. I have done this multiple times. It's super helpful. One way that it saves money, at least that I found, is that it keeps you out of the store, the aisles you don't need to go to. And it prevents you from being tempted to buy extras. So when you do your online shopping, you go in there, you choose the items that you want, you choose exactly what you get. And then when you come pick up, they put it in your trunk, and you're not in there in Walmart going through the toy aisle, going through the clothing, going through like going through the houseware stuff, and you end up with a lamp, and you end up with a plant, and you end up with all these other things that were not on your list. You stick to your budget. So if you do want to have a budget, number one, I say have a budget for your groceries. But if you want to keep that budget, if you're shopping online, it really saves you money because you can see exactly how much your groceries are be. Has anyone ever gone through the grocery store and you get to the end and like in your head, you're calculating what you have, but when it comes up, it's completely different from what you calculated in your head. I know I have personally done that. And I think, what in the world did I buy? And it'll just be like a few extra things. So when you do the online grocery, it does help you save money. It keeps you out of the store, prevents you from being tempted to buy all those extras that they keep, and all that stuff they put at the checkout, that point of sale stuff, while you're waiting in line, and you grab a candy bar, or you grab chips, or you grab a charger, or you grab a cord, and it's all just sitting there waiting for you to take. It saves time and energy. So you're not walking through the store. You're not spending that extra time at the store where you could be on your way home. It gives you ease of pickup, or you can get delivery now. Like, they make it so simple. The downside of online grocery shopping, there is a downside, is sometimes you have to pay for the convenience. Some of the stores do have like a free period of time. So I think Walmart used to have like a free, like your first 3 shopping. I'm not sure if they still do that. And I think Target had like your first free, like your first one, but there is sometimes like a $5 charge. So that's one of the offsets. And you don't get to choose your produce. So if you're a person that really likes to choose your produce and go through, you can put details on there, say like, I want a orange that feels like this, or an avocado that feels like this. The downside is you don't know if that person's going to really shop like you would shop. So those are the downsides, but I would like recommend, for if you are really trying to stick with a budget for groceries. And one of the ways that if you have sticky hands like I do when you get in the store, because I get in the store and I go through the aisles and there's always something that wasn't on my list that ends up in my cart. Online grocery is a great way. And you, like I said, you can just drive up, you can pick it up, but a lot of stores also have delivery for a fee. I've actually ordered groceries for my daughter in South Carolina and had them delivered to her. So it's very convenient that way. One thing I want to talk a little bit about is buying in season fruits and vegetables, and some of the advantages. And so we unfortunately live in Ohio, where there's not a whole lot of, we don't have a long season of growth in local produce, which kind of stinks. So we have a lot of stuff imported. But if you do buy in season, it's usually less expensive. So you get more bang for your buck. They're more easily accessible because there's more growers that are bringing those fruits and vegetables either to market or to stores, depending on where you shop. And you often get a better quality fruit or vegetable when you're buying them in season and when you're buying them local. Because if you're buying them when they're shipped in, they're going to also have to spray them and keep them, they're going to pick them earlier. So like fruits and vegetables that are shipped in are picked earlier. Sometimes colors are added in so that they look so pretty and presentable. So just be aware of that when unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of options here. Another great option is to grow your own. I do have a garden in the winter. I tried to have one in the indoors I do have a garden in the summer. I'm sorry. I tried to have one in the winter and it didn't work out very well. So I'm going to have to do a little more research on that. But you can grow a garden anywhere. If you have an apartment, you can grow it on your balcony. You can grow some herbs even on your countertop. You can grow some fruits even inside. But if you have any type of space outdoor, you can I do container gardening, where I just use, old, like the planters. That's where we grow our garden from, in a small corner of our yard. You can use those on your balcony. So even growing your own fruits and vegetables is a great way to save and have fresh in season. But there's great videos on YouTube. There's plenty of, if you go on there and say small garden on my patio, gardening in small spaces, you can find some really great resources. And this is the time, if you're in Ohio, I believe we are right about the time where you can start seeds on the inside. And I think I measured this out because I need to start. I was thinking about starting seeds, but I haven't yet. But I think we're about the time where you can start seeds. So you can start seeds now and just go on YouTube and you can look for our area of the country and you can start seeds. So that's a great way to save money. I'm going to talk a little bit about comparing prices. I used to be one of those people that goes from store to store to store. I don't do that as much because I shop for less people. But after you have your list, the real challenge is going to be finding the best bang for your buck, right? For the best value. The best thing to do is to shop the unit price. And what does that look like? So sometimes you may pay more money, but get more value. So for example, a 12-ounce box of pasta that costs $1.20 has a unit price of 10 cents per ounce. Right. So if you look at the unit, you can see how many ounces you're getting for your dollar. I'm going to show an example of an image on the next screen. Looking at the unit price allows you to compare the price of different size packages. So one package may be smaller and cheaper, but you may get less for your dollar than if you go ahead and get the larger package. That's why sometimes shopping in bulk can save you money, but it also can not be as much of a savings. So you always have to look at the unit price. Buying food with a lower price unit will help you save money and stretch your food dollars. And then also frozen versus fresh, check the difference. Sometimes fresh may even be cheaper than frozen. And then with fresh, you're getting it where it's ripe, it's good. But do your comparisons. It takes a little extra time in the grocery store, but it'll save you some money down the line. Okay, so on here, I show a unit price. I know everyone's probably seen these in the grocery store. Most of us just ignore them and just, buy like what we're gonna buy. But as you can see here, this smaller 6-ounce yogurt is 12 cents per unit. It only costs 72 cents, but it's 12 cents per unit. Now this larger 32 ounce, it's $1.62. This is not a realistic price range. I just want to share that for present day prices. But this is 5 cents per unit price. So you're getting more bang for your buck getting the 32 ounce. Oftentimes we always look at the lower price item because I know I've done that. But when you look at the big picture, the unit price will give you more bang for your buck. So you may spend a little bit more, but you're going to get what? 5 times more food per serving with this example. Unfortunately, things have not been this cheap. Things are going up in prices. So it's really going to benefit us to really look at the unit price. Even when you go to places like Costco and Sam's, sometimes it may be cheaper to go to Kroger's and buy that item on sale. It's wonderful now because, I wish I didn't share. I want to share this app with you guys. I'm going to have to send it out. There is an app, and I just found out about it recently, that you can compare the prices of ads in all your stores. Yeah, there's an app, and I'm going to find it on my phone. I'm going to try to share it with you guys. So you can get all the ads for all of your local stores. And you'll be able to look at all those ads and see what's on sale to get the best bang. Now you may sometimes have to go to more than one store. So like for me, I start at Aldi because I shop there frequently enough to know what is a really good deal there. And then sometimes I have to go to Walmart or Kroger's, depending on what I'm getting, to get the additional items. So look at your retail shelves. I mean, if you've ever walked past this unit price as you go to the grocery store this weekend or this week, stop and look at the unit prices and just start to compare some of what you're getting. And it's really great if you can kind of be able to see these things online before you go to the store, because you can make your list and you can already have mapped out what you're going to get ahead of time. But this is the best guide for saving money, is to look at the unit price. Let's see, I miss everything. Check out this example and use this as an example. I promise you'll be surprised. And then my last slide is don't snub the generic. Don't raise your nose. The generics are just as good most times as the store-bought brands. I've had this discussion with other people, or you can try them out. If you decide like, I really like Van Camp's baked beans. Van Camp baked beans are, very different from Aldi baked beans. I don't like Aldi. So if you have to have the name brand, but try out some of them. Many stores like Aldi sell lower price or generic brands of products we all love. And I talk about Aldi a lot because that's my store. That's where I go to. I've been going there for years. I just tend to save money there. I always regret when I don't go there because I spend a lot more money other places. But they may not sell your store the brand that you like, the specific brand like Campbell's or, some of the name brands, but they sell similar things in their generic and they're just as good. So give them a try. Same go for store brands. If you're a Kroger, try it out before you turn it down. You'd be surprised that some of these items are really well made now, and they're really, really comparable to the store brands or the national brands. So our goal is takeaway is to name 3 tips for shopping on a budget. 1 reason to buy fruit in season, and what does a unit price mean? And I'm going to stop sharing here. And one thing I want to add in some clips. So I'm going to go to show you my grocery store app that I use. So I use my reminders on my phone. And if you have an iPhone, I think iPhone might be the only one that has this. Sorry, let me get to. So this is the reminders app on the phone. And as you can see, I have grocery list and Target shopping because those are the 2 that I probably do the most. And the thing that I love about the reminders app, and you can, like, if you don't have an iPhone, see if there's a list type of app on your phone. You can go in here at any time. So I'm going to share with you my list. So this will be a normal grocery list kind of for me. And the thing I love about this app is that as I go through the day or something pops up, I can put it right in my grocery list. I don't have to wait till I get home to write it down. I don't have to, have my notebook with me. It's great if you do use a notebook, but this is kind of nice that you can always have this with you. And what I usually do is I create my list and then I put my list here. So if you have your book, I think this picture is blurred. Okay. If you have your book, if you don't, one of the really cool things that I do is, number one, before you even go to the grocery store, plan out your meals. And so next week, I'll be sharing some of the meal planning, meal prep steps that we use, and we'll be in the kitchen next week. So that'll be fun. We're going to be doing some cooking. We're going to be together in the kitchen. We're going to be talking about making the list that's on here. So first thing to do is make your meals for the week. Plan out exactly what you want to have each day. Now, you know how many people are in your home. So when you go to the grocery store, you'll be able to know how many ounces of meat you need, how many vegetables, what exactly you need. So what I always recommend is, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, share my book here, is writing down what you're going to cook for the week. So say you're going to make spaghetti and meatballs. I'm going to make spaghetti and meatballs. So then next you want to write down everything that would go into spaghetti and meatballs. So I need my ground beef, I need my pasta sauce, I need my spaghetti. If I'm going to have a salad, I need my salad. Write that all here. Because what that's going to translate into is it's going to be start your list. And if you know you're going to have spaghetti meatballs for 2 days, so Monday I'm going to make it, we're going to have it for leftovers Tuesday, so I'm not going to cook again until Wednesday. Write out whatever you're going to cook on Wednesday for your meal. Write down everything. The next step to save you money, this is going to be your number one saving tip. So this I want you to star, circle, put an exclamation point. Before you even go to the store, check your pantry, check your freezer, check your refrigerator, check what you already have, because you may have everything you need already to make spaghetti. One of the biggest cost ways that we overspend is by buying foods that we don't need. Trust me, I've done it. That's why now I have to be really cautious of it, because you end up with all this extra food in your pantry. So say you don't look in your pantry or in your cabinets and you go buy spaghetti and you already have like 4 boxes of it. Has anyone ever done that? Has anyone ever gone to the store, bought things, come home, and you already have like a ton of them? Because I know I've done that. If you've done that, please let me know. I don't want to be alone. You can put it in the chat. But have you ever gone to the store and bought things that you already had? So the number one way, start this, save money, is once you make your menu for the week, go to your pantry, go to your refrigerator, go to your freezer, and see what you already have. Another thing you can do before you even do that, go to the pantry, refrigerator, and freezer, see what you already have, and create your menu from what you already have. So I try to go in and see like what we already have, and then I try to make my menu from that. Yes, I see some yeses in there. Thank you guys. I feel so much better. I feel like it's not just me that brings home all this extra stuff. Yes, I see. So thank you for the yeses. I feel so much better. I'm in good company. I'm in the right room. But yeah, definitely check your pantry, refrigerator, and that'll save you the most money if you make meals from what you already have. So if you have some beans, say we're going to be having beans and rice this week. We got beans and rice in here. That's what we're having. Make that your menu. Start your menu with what you already have. Then make your list of what you haven't gotten. So once you have already made your menus, you've already checked everything, go ahead and start making your shopping list from here. You'd be surprised how much stuff you already have. I mean, when I go in, especially when it comes to fruits and vegetables, check those, clean out your fruit and vegetable drawer before you go start buying your fruits and vegetables, because you can use stuff that's already starting to go bad. You can also take things from the week before. So one week I think I made like sauteed vegetables or something, but I end up using those vegetables to make a soup at the end of the week. So if you have leftover meats, leftover fruit, or leftover vegetables, leftover rice, make some fried rice. Take some of those vegetables, make some fried rice. You can translate the foods that you have left over from earlier in the week and make them into new meals. So start to do some of that. You can go on Pinterest, things like that, and you can put in foods to make with leftover chicken. Make some chicken noodle soup. Make some chicken and pasta. If you have fried chicken, take that chicken off, put some barbecue sauce on it, make some pulled chicken sandwiches. There's so many different things you can do to save money with what you already have before you even get to the store. That's what I do now. Rarely need to go to the store, only go for fresh foods. That's awesome, Sandra. Yes. And that's what, and it's so much better when you can look at what you have, create your menu from that, and then only get what you need. That will save you so much money. So then you have your list, and you can either keep your list on paper, or you can use like one of the digital apps. Like I use my app here, and then you're set to go to the store. And I love that this has like breakfast ideas and lunch ideas, because often when we do our grocery shopping, we forget about breakfast and lunch. I mean, at least I don't forget about breakfast. I never forget about breakfast, but sometimes I forget about lunch. So are you going to bring leftovers for lunch, or do you need to purchase things like to go that you need to pack for lunch or make for lunch? So just keep that in mind too, because sometimes I personally do forget about my lunch meals. And I have to like sometimes create something that I have left over in the refrigerator for lunch. So if you got this book, wonderful. If you didn't, they're going to try to get you a copy of it, but we're going to go back next week. And what I would love to see everybody do is, if you have this book, come back next week with a plan for your meals for the week. And I'm going to bring my plans for the week, but I'll also be showing you where I get the book. So Sandra, if you did not get one in the mail, just put it in the chat here, because they're going to see if they can send out to the people who weren't there. I think everyone who came the first week, I think might have gotten one, but if you didn't, just put your name in there, let them know I did not get a book, and Lauren's going to see what they can do to be able to get those out to you. If you don't have this book, I never used a book. I've always used a notebook, plain old $1.50 notebook that you get from the store. I've used those for years, and I put my menu at the top, and then I put my grocery list down below. But some of the takeaways I want you to think about is shop the unit price, shop fruits and vegetables that are in season, check your pantry, refrigerator, and freezer before you go to the store, create your menus from what you already have, and then create your menu, and then create your list. So that way you will save money. Go to the store. Don't go to the store hungry, which is another one that is such an easy one to get. And then try online shopping, because it will save you money and it'll save you time. I love using online shopping. I'm just not really good enough to like do it ahead of time to have it ready for when I need it. That's where I struggle, is with that. So I think I have one more resource I want to share. Let me see if I can get that up here. Is everybody getting something out of this? Oh, shoot. I think it's up here. All right, I have to figure out what I did with it. Okay, there it is. Is this helpful? Are these helpful tools for you? Does anybody have any questions? You guys are quiet tonight. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share this tool. And if you have any questions, we're going to do questions at the end in a couple minutes. This is a tool from the American Heart Association that I found. I thought it had some really good tips, and it's like a one-stop sheet. So number one, plan your meals each week. Keep your receipts, your grocery lists, coupons, everything in one place. Number two, make a shopping list. Number three, know what you already have. Number four, save your receipts. So each week, compare what you spent. So you can see, yeah, it's quiet tonight. Everybody's still recovering from the game, I think. Is everyone still recovering from Sunday? We're all so quiet. I think at least I feel like I still am. Save your receipts. Number five, collect coupons. I used to be a huge couponer, and there's online coupons, which I think Kroger's, I don't know about other grocery stores, but Kroger's has online coupons. So you can always download those coupons. So collect your coupons, compare prices from different store brands and from different stores. Use your coupons. Another way is if you look at the unit price, buy it. You can buy in bulk, but check that unit price to make sure that you're getting more bang for your buck. Save with seasonal produce. And don't check out at the checkout. Pay attention to what's going in the register. That's a huge one because sometimes they'll scan something for more than it should have cost. So you may be spending more on things if you're not paying attention to what the cashier is doing. And the app that I want to share, I'm going to see if I can share it on I don't have it. I'm going to see if it's called Flip. And so what you can do with this app is you can put in your, I think you put in your zip code and it'll give you, like you can pick the grocery stores that you want the ads to, and it will give you all your grocery store ads. So let's see. Oops. So I have here, let's see, where did I go? So on here I have like the Kroger ad. There's the Meijer ad. It's got some weird grocery stores in here I've never heard of. Fresh Time Market. So you can choose your stores. I have Trader Joe's on here. So this app, if you guys are interested, let me know in the chat if you're interested in this app. This app is nice because you can, before you go to the store, you can go look at all the stores in your area. It's called Flip. Yeah, it's called Flip, F-L-I-P-P. You can look at all the ads in your area, and you can make smarter shopping decisions because you can see what's on sale. You can see I think you can even see like coupons. Let's see. So I pulled up the Kroger ad and I can see all their sales they have this week. Now I think you'll have to go to like the Kroger app to get your coupons to download. But this is just another tool if you're looking to save money and you want to kind of be smarter.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So using an app like that, I just wondering, I haven't tried to do this in a really long time, but is there still such a thing as matching prices? Do stores still do that? Do they match a price if you bring an ad from another store?
That's a good question. I know that Target does. I know that Walmart did. But I would definitely call the store ahead of time. But I know that Target definitely does because I've done that at Target. But I would call the store ahead of time because that would be really helpful if you're at a store and like they have a majority of what you want to have, that you don't have to go all the way across town to Meijer. You know what I'm saying? Something on sale. Yeah.
For my clients, they have limited resources as far as transportation. So they're limited to shopping at certain places. And I know those places take advantage of that because they can't get anywhere else. They can't go very far. It's very rural. And
what are some of the places that they shop at?
There's a Teals Market. You probably never heard of that. And then one of the tribally owned markets, and everything is so expensive. And I feel so bad for people that have to, they cannot bargain shop. They have to go when Auntie can give them a ride to the store, and all she can do is give them a ride to the local store. So they're very limited in, what. I live in a very rural area. I should say that first. So there's only a couple grocery stores. There's no Walmarts. There's Dollar General, but that's about it. But yeah, they're very limited. So that's an obstacle. It costs a lot of money to eat healthy. That's the truth.
Yeah. Well, they like Dollar General now, you can find some things at Dollar General that like food items and things like that, like maybe not meat, but like some of the canned goods, the rice and beans, things like that. They often carry those things at like Dollar General.
Thank you.
Yeah, so yeah, I would definitely not leave out some of those stores, like the lesser known stores, because they do carry food items. I mean, yes, it is expensive to, it is getting more expensive to kind of have options. And for you, it sounds like I'm gonna, Danita, will you email me like the area that you're in? And she's driving.
I sure will. Yep, I sure will.
Yeah, because I'm gonna look a little bit too and see if I can kind of brainstorm some ideas for you.
Thank you.
Oh no, my pleasure. I love that, and it is true that when you are in more rural areas, and we're kind of blessed that we do have the option of, um, multiple resources. And right now, groceries just seem like they're so much higher than they've ever been. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that or seeing that. So, really thinking about what you already have, and if sometimes even sharing resources. If somebody, if you're a single person, and you might share cooking times with people, like share meals with somebody else. They cook one day and you guys share meals. If you're single, or if you're small families, and that's another option too, is to share those resources and alternate cooking meals, so that both of you can kind of benefit on time and resources. But Danita, you're in definitely a unique experience being in a rural area where there aren't as many resources. Kathy says sometimes I go to Dollar General to get the specials. Broth and pastas, yes, and sometimes cheaper than at Aldi. Oh, wow. Okay. Did you see that in there, Danita, that Kathy shared?
I did, yes, but we don't have an Aldi's close to us.
Okay, but she said they're cheaper than Aldi's.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. That's good to know. I'm going to have to check them out. I do get their ads sometime though. So, yeah, definitely don't put aside the Dollar Tree, the Dollar Generals. I saw them go to Fresh Time, but once I saw an ad that they had all their frozen foods 20% off. Oh wow, it was worth the drive. Wow, I missed that ad. Yeah, so if you're checking those things, definitely take the time to look at those ads. If you have access to other groceries or shopping, just take the time, when you can, to look at those ads. In that app Flip, you may be able to get some of the other area stores on there. I just have the stores that I go to that are in my area, but that might be another option too if you're looking for resources. And then, like I said before, like if you don't have access to it, you can always grow it. You can always grow some of those, or also, sharing those resources with other people. If you have an excess of something, share that with other people. But the takeaways, hold on.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I help start a food pantry, so I have a lot of resources. If you can jot down my email, land@yahoo.com, and I can try to help coordinate where she can get, some produce and free food for children and adults, healthy foods.
That's awesome. Danita, did you hear that? You said L as in LAND at yahoo.com.
LO land.prec
Okay.
IOUS at yahoo.com. Sorry.
Can someone type that in the chat so I can screenshot it?
Yep. Can Durance or Lauren, can you guys type that in the chat for Danita? Land.precious at yahoo.com. Thank you so much, Precious. That's super helpful. They just typed it, Danita.
Thank you.
We're saving money for each other by sharing resources. That's wonderful. Did you get that, Danita?
I did, ma'am.
Yeah. That's awesome. Does anyone have any other questions?
I have a question
Comments?
about topic.
Okay, go ahead. We're covering everything tonight.
Okay, good. I wanted to know, can I substitute boiled egg whites for my protein?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. What would you put it like on a salad or something, or just have it as a protein? Yep.
Well, 'cause a lot of times I don't like meat for breakfast, so I was wondering if that would be good for me to just use the boiled egg whites. I don't like the yolk. I just like the white.
Which is fine because you get plenty of protein in the white and you don't have the extra fat. So yep, you can absolutely do that. You can boil all those eggs ahead of time too and just, have them for the whole week too. That's a great option. Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. Any other questions? I'm trying to hear, like, that was really low. Sorry, my face was all up in the computer. Does anyone have any other questions? So I'm hoping that this week, when you plan your shopping, plan your meals, you start to go to your own, what you already have first. And you start to look at what you have to plan your meals from that. And then plan your meals, make your list, do your comparisons, and then hit the grocery store. Save some money, or try online grocery shopping. If you want to be daring, try something different. Has anyone ever done online grocery shopping? You can unmute. Just
This
unmute
is
your.
Jamie.
That's pretty much
This
all
is
I do
Jamie.
since the pandemic.
Yeah, and I have 4 kids, so I just dread going in the grocery store with 4 kids. So I do a lot of online shopping, and then sometimes I'll go in and pick out my own produce.
How do you find it to be, for people who haven't done it? Do you find it to be easy and helpful?
I think on the Kroger app it's easy because it gives you reminders every week of the things that you kind of already picked up or things that you are used to being on your grocery list. So I enjoy it. And if there's ever been like an issue where I've gotten produce and it's been bad, they make it right. So you just have to go in the store and ask for someone to help you with it for a refund, and you can just go pick out what you need. But ultimately, I like doing it. It saves me lots of time, and then I also don't overspend by doing a list like that.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it does save you so much money because you get like what's on, like you just get what you're supposed to get.
I think you have to get
Definitely.
used to it a little bit though, because the first couple of times I did it online, like you can be very specific, but I had to learn that you had to be specific. And then if you don't want substitutes, you have to say you don't want substitutes, or sometimes you might not be sure of how many ounces something is that you get, and then you get something, you're like, oh, that's smaller than I thought. So, but once you get used to it, it's awesome.
Yeah, I agree, Shelley. I did the same thing. I was similar. I would like get these like, oh, that's not what I thought it looked like on the picture, and I didn't read the fine print that said this is the size. So yeah, I definitely, you have to like definitely read and be specific. And then Nada had shared that she said Walmart is a savior. I was like, yeah, Walmart pickup is a savior. Yeah, I use them a lot, especially when I'm like really busy and I'm like stressed. I always think like, oh my gosh, I can just do my shopping online. Like, why am I stressing myself out to have to get to the grocery store?
I love Amazon's delivery service.
I've never used theirs. I've thought about it a couple of times, and I put
They-
things in the cart.
Sir, they're really convenient. The produce is normally very, very fresh. And if you have an EBT card, it's free delivery.
Wow, that's good information to know.
Yes,
Because that might
EBT is
be
free.
a resource that my produce is always bad, so I have to go into the store anyway. But I like grocery shopping, Aaron said.
Yeah. And also with Amazon, if you have an EBT card, you can get the Amazon Prime for I think $5 a month.
Wow, that's a really good resource, Lauren. We might have
Yeah,
to share that.
on Amazon Prime. They just ask you to type in your EBT card number and the PIN number and your phone number just for verification. And you do that and you're set to go, $5 a month, and get your groceries delivered free, and whatever other items, like during the pandemic, well, we're still in the pandemic, but when the kids were out of school, I did a lot of tissue and paper plates and Play-Doh and stuff like that. So
Oh,
that
wow.
was good to have them deliver stuff here. And even the teachers at the school was sending care packages through Amazon.
Yeah. Well, I've never
Cool.
used the grocery part of it, so that's really good to know, and that's really actually good information to share.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing that. And
you're
then when you use
welcome.
your Kroger card, Tanya said when you use your Kroger card online, they tend to send you coupons targeted to buy. Yeah, to buy what you buy. Yeah, that's really helpful too. I think, well, let me check the time. Oh, we're about 5 minutes. Lauren, do we need to finish up anything at the end here, or
There's no survey today.
there's no survey today? Okay, perfect. So you guys, this is great information, even for me. I'm jotted down a lot of this, and I'm so glad that so many of you are sharing. I hope today that you take away some of those tips, and if you haven't used any of those shopping tips, that you kind of think about that this week. Next week, we're going to the kitchen. I hope this works out. This is my first time doing this in the kitchen, so I hope this works out. I'm going to be sharing some meal planning tips with meal planning, basically like using some of the budget tips that we talked about today, shopping tips, and showing you how I put together meal plans for the week. And hopefully you'll take home some ideas on preparing your meals for the week and take back some of your time. So thank you guys so much. We were all kind of quiet today. I feel like everybody's kind of like, oh, draggy. So next week is our last full class week. So we're going to come with full energy, and we'll be cooking. So it'll be fun. We'll be in the kitchen, and it'll be like, hopefully this will turn out really well. I've never done this before on Zoom. So yeah, we're praying that it turns out really well. But yeah, definitely come back next week. It'll be the last week, and then we'll have all of what you'll need to do for the final week, the fifth week. Hopefully we'll figure that out before next week. And this has been fun, you guys. Thank you everybody who was able to share so many resources. You guys, this has been so awesome. Have a great week.